I was talking about Dragon Age. I finished my playthrough yesterday, and finishing a game or finishing a book or like a show, it always leaves this little void. So I'm just thinking about all the decisions I made and if I'm happy with my playthrough. And mostly I am. I didn't play it as thoroughly as I would normally, but I was streaming it for the first time, and there's some parts of Dragon Age that just like aren't really fun to watch. Like some of the exploring areas you've already been, and like bringing your dog places to see if he finds things that you can't find. Like I didn't do all that or as much of that this time because I was trying to make it fun to watch. But I think if I ever stream that game again, or like when I because I'm planning on playing Mass Effect next, I'm just gonna play how I normally would. And if it's like not super interesting to watch my shepherd like make sure that they go into every single room and open every single box and talk to every single person, like I'm gonna do it. That's part of the fun for me. I also like reading all the codexes and looking through the journal and stuff. Like even though I've played these games before, I just think it's so fun. Like it's part of the world that the creators made, so I think it's worth it to read it, even if it's for the second or third time. I just love old BioWare games. I haven't even been keeping up with BioWare ever since they made Anthem, which didn't really, that's what it was called, right? Like they named it after that like health insurance for some reason. And I remember it being a little bit of a scandal, like what they had promised in like the trailers in 3. When was this? I think this was like 2018 or something. So it's been a while, but yeah, the game just like wasn't really ready, I guess, when it finally did come out. There was a lot of discussion about, you know, the creative teams being pushed to like make all these changes last minute, and that's why some of the things that were promised didn't end up in the game, or some of the things that were in the game just didn't seem finished. So yeah, when that happened is when that was right after I think Andromeda had come out, and I didn't like Mass Effect Andromeda that much. Well, I've noticed like who are into Mass Effect have been saying that it's good and some of the characters are cool. And I think someone even said they really liked the fighting, which I did not like when I was playing it. I never got far into it because I was so frustrated with it, but maybe now it's been some time. I'm sure there's been patches, so I'll probably give it a shot. I just, after Andromeda came out and then Anthem, I kind of stopped paying attention to BioWare's projects. But I love like the original Mass Effect trilogy, and I love Dragon Age, obviously. That's why I'm here. So I'm just gonna keep playing those. I have other games that are not BioWare that I've never played and that I need to play. But I just keep replaying these games. And it's like I'm telling myself it's a new experience because I've never streamed myself playing them. So it's kind of like a new game. And I got the Mass Effect remastered, like the Legendary. And that basically is new because it has DLCs that I'd never played. And it looks pretty. And I paid new game price for it. So that's cool. I'm excited. I had to really stop myself. Like, I was like, okay, I really want to just start Mass Effect today and stream that, but I told myself I would do at least one art stream a week. So, and also I was like, I need to actually work on this drawing too. So I can't just only stream BioWare games. I gotta do at least one art stream. But I can comfort myself by drawing, talking about BioWare. So here I am. And since I've played Mass Effect so many times, I told myself like I'm gonna make all new decisions, make it feel like really new. Anyway, that's like what's been on my mind as far as games go. As far as drawing goes, I'm just trying to make this face look right. Keep leaning out of the camera. So like, oops. I have a reference that I'm using for this face. It's a friend of mine, and I think that the drawing, like, it's hard to tell because of the way this camera angle is. It looks decent. Like, it looks like a person. The proportions are right. The face looks like a face. Like, it just doesn't look exactly the way I want her to, in terms of like kind of the way the shape of the nose, and just something with the eyes is not quite there. But I've done like all I can do with pencil, and I think that I'm just gonna have to, what's the word, reconcile with it. No, I feel like it's not going to totally look the way that I imagine it until I get some ink in there, like get my stipples in there and erase these like hard lines, because that's not what people look like anyway. And I feel like that's part of the reason that it's not matching up with how it in the reference photos and in my head. Like, once I can imply the bridge of the nose and not have the hard line defining it, I think it's gonna look a lot better. I also have to try not to rush it, because when I do it too fast, the don't look as clean, and I need them to look really smooth. It's skin. I want it to look like skin. Happy with my pen today. It's like cooperating. The other day when I was trying to do like very light dots, very light stipples, and keep them like an even tone, I don't know if it was like the pen, like the angle that I was holding it at, or if it was just my hand like not being stable. I had a lot of coffee. It was just, I couldn't keep an even tone, and I like the sizing was off, and I'm sure that no one else is even going to notice it, but when I look at it, I'm like, oh, I see that. I see where I pressed too hard, and I see where I wasn't consistent with the pattern and the direction. It's insane. Like, it just sticks out so much to me. Like, even right here, it like doesn't. That's probably also just me overthinking it. Like, I'm sure, like, when it's all done and this isn't the only section that has ink on it, it's not going to be so obvious. I'm just really glad. I don't know why I didn't always map out highlights like I'm doing now, like where I have, like, this is light and there's a shadow here and the highlight, like, makes it so much easier, and I don't have to, like, sorry, the phone flashlight is like in that camera and the webcam, but I don't have to keep going back to the reference as much. And then since I'm not constantly staring at the reference, it gives me more room to take creative liberties without even realizing it. When I'm staring at the reference all the time, I'm way less likely to deviate from it and make my own decisions. That makes sense. gonna be very slow work. There was yeah, you do. See, that's why my smoking's not for me. I just get so in my head, and I don't know. It's not good. I used to like it a lot more. Then it's like a switch turned off or on or something. But there was a show that was taking applications at a gallery near me, taking submissions, I guess is the word, and they're due October 25th. And I started working on this in September, and every portrait in this series has taken me like 1.5 to 2 months. So I was like, maybe if I really push it, I can get this done and submit it before that deadline. So I wanted to see, I was like, okay, I'll see where I am on October 15th, because that will be like a full month of me working on it and only it. And so today's the 19th. On the 15th, I had just finished the hands and was starting the face. So I got a lot farther than I'd expected, to be honest. I finished like her whole outfit. Maybe I can show you. I finished that whole outfit and stuff. It looks crazy because of how the camera's positioned, but I mean, there's no way if all of that took me a month that I can finish the rest of this in, 6 days? Like, no way. But I was proud of myself for actually trying. I think that I need to get a little faster with these though. The more I do them, the faster I'll get. But right now I just still have to, nipples kind of slow. I've said this before, but it's like, it's relaxing, but it's also like, can't zone out too much. I could zone out more when I was doing like her clothes because the texture didn't matter as much to me, but on her face, I want it to look very like consistent. Already like a little darker here than I. But I think if I can get it light now, it won't matter. What I need over here is like a good lamp so I don't have to use my phone flashlight so much. I can't believe it's already fit, so I'm gonna try. I feel like if I really push myself on this and like my time wisely, I could finish this before Halloween or on Halloween. That would be so cool. From getting like fatigue from working on the same thing so much. I've been like working on like changing up my surroundings when I work on it. Like I have one place, like what I usually would do is I'll sit on the couch in my living room and I'll have like a TV show on and I sit there and I work on it there. So I'm trying to like change it up so it feels like I'm not doing such the same thing and I don't get tired of it. So I'm like, the weather's getting nice, like maybe I'll take it outside and work on it there, or like go to a park, work on it there. The nice thing about this is like I can take it anywhere. It's a little big, but it's not like impossible to bring out. And then also like working on it on stream makes it like a change in the routine, like getting out of the rut. So that's fun. I always get like so anxious if I just feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over. Like I feel like I'm just stuck. I don't want to feel that way about this. And I normally don't feel that way about art, but now that I'm putting a deadline on this and I'm wanting to get it done in a certain amount of time, I just know that having that end date in the back of my mind is going to make it feel more like something I have to do instead of something I want to do. And that's what, for me, makes things like feel, I don't know, like work, like, oh, I don't want to do this. And in a way, it is work because I'm trying to make work that I can, submit to galleries, talk to people about, build a portfolio with. Like, that's work in a way, but it's work that I'm giving myself instead of being given. But like I said, even if it's a deadline I give myself, it like adds that extra layer of like anxiety. But still having fun right now. I'm excited to be starting on her actual face. It is a little nerve-wracking because there's like no going back. I'm starting easy with the forehead. Like, foreheads are simple. They're just, there's nothing going on there. And she does have her eyes closed, so that's a little easier. The last few portraits I've done, they've had their eyes open, and I usually have them kind of looking at the viewer. So that's a lot of pressure, to get the eyes to look the same. Not perfectly symmetrical because then that doesn't look natural, but have them look like they belong on the same face, and getting like the pupils and stuff. I think I'm pretty good, but I've seen people who, like, the way they draw the eye looks like it would be wet if you were to touch it. And I'm trying to, like, that's the level I'm aiming for. I want to create those kind of textures. So it always makes me nervous that I'm not going to meet that goal when I'm drawing eyes. But like I said, she almost got her eyes closed, so I'm off the hook this time. One thing I might have to start doing though is erasing these guidelines that I wrote in once I start working on the area, because the letters that I wrote are kind of making it hard for me to see where I've stippled and where I haven't. And it's making me a little dizzy. Not gonna lie. At an art event this past weekend that I went to, for like one of the first ones I've been to in a really long time. Like, with COVID and stuff, a lot of these things have been like online, which is fine with me. Like, that makes things a lot easier. But I was excited to like have an event to actually go to. And I gotta say, it was a little overwhelming being around so many people after like not being used to it in so long. Not always about technique. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think having a set technique is interesting, and like for me it helps me like feel like I'm keeping things consistent. But if you have a technique, like a cool technique even, but the concept isn't strong, like, okay, what's the point? Like, there's been times when I'm looking at stuff where there's like not really a concept at all, and then they're telling me like, oh, and the way they did it was like this, and this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool, like that they had such a unique technique, or that they had such a like a technique that takes so much work and skill, but like it gives me a new appreciation, but it still like doesn't make me love the piece, you know? Like I agree with you. Gotta have a balance for sure. And art is all about ideas. Like it's us communicating visually, feeling, or something that needs to be said. As long as the technique is enjoyable, like if it brings the creator something, all that matters. Like I like doing stipples because I like the way they look and I think they're relaxing to do. Like even though I can't totally like I kind of make myself a little dizzy or I can't like zone out while I'm doing parts like this where it needs to all be one color. It still makes me feel good knowing like, okay, it doesn't get more complicated than this for a while. It's just I just have to make dots. Like when I get to the hair, that's a different story. That's going to be a lot more like delicate line work and stuff, but for now I just my pen up and down. That's good enough for me. Like that's kind of comforting. It's kind of like when I started my job like years and years ago and I was just entry level and all I had to do was data entry and everyone thought it was so boring. It's like I'm just taking authorization numbers and like entering them into a spreadsheet and taking did it get approved or not and entering that into a spreadsheet and I just like loved it. I loved doing that. I was like maybe I'm a robot or something. Like this is great. Hey, thank you for gifting us stuff. It's so exciting. Hey, Cozy Art, you get it. You know what I'm talking about. Balance is like the answer to all things. Moderation, the key. It's so simple, but it's easy to forget too, I guess. Like because it's like when something is so obvious, it's like you miss it. What was I just talking about though? Oh yeah, I was talking about my data entry job. I feel like I need to look into why I find stuff like that so comforting to do. I mean, after a while, I did start to want more of a challenge in my work, but I feel like part of that is because I also just wanted to like make more money because, you know, entry level jobs only pay so much. But like if they were paying me like a living wage to do that, I would probably just still do it. If that was like a temp position. Oh man, but I liked it though. Those were the times, like just wake up and go to work and type numbers. Like you didn't, I could like put on a podcast. I could even like, if I had like a video on my phone, I could just like watch a movie. So, I mean, you totally weren't supposed to. They totally didn't want you like watching things. But I could like listen to it. Like I didn't need to use like any higher level like brain power to do it. It was just simple. And I got good at it too. I was like so fast at it. They were like, "Oh my gosh, how are you like getting through 400 of these?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I like doing it." I think that's why I like stippling too. It's just the same thing. I can listen to something while I do it. I can talk to you guys while I do it. Watch a movie. Listen to a book. Though I've been getting really behind on my books lately. found as many audiobooks that I'm interested in. I did just get like a new, this is gonna sound like a commercial, but I did just get like a free month on Audible or something. I need to use that and go download a cool book. I'm trying to recognize too, like readers that I like because there was this one book by N.K. Jemisin that I think looks so good. I think it was like The City We Become or Become City or something like that. Um, and the plot looks so interesting, and I love her Broken Earth series. Like I was so into it, but I didn't want to read it because it's too long, and I want to be able to like draw. Like being able to draw and listen to a book is like amazing. Like I'm getting so much done if I can get through a book and also get through a drawing. I feel very accomplished. So I was like, I want to be able to draw while I consume this book. Consume. So I got the audiobook um from the library near me, and the person reading it had like the worst voice in the world. Like sorry to that person. My opinion, I just really did not like their voice at all. It was something about like the different like voices they were using for different characters and like their narration style. I just like I could not listen to it, and I tried twice. Like I was like maybe let me try this again. I tried it again like a month later or something, and I was like no, I can't do this. I wonder if I were to find it on Audible instead of at the library, if it would be different or not. It's kind of nice though, um, like hearing, like the advantage I think of listening to a book, especially if the author is reading it, is I'll catch like they'll add more emotion into. Oh, I think my camera died. That's a bummer. Well, I was talking about audiobooks and now I can't even draw while I do this. So, guys, I guess I have to end the stream kind of early. That's so like not ideal, but you know what? It is what it is. I got to talk to Koi's art, which was nice, cozy art. So thanks for dropping in today. I'll probably come on a little later with a charged up camera, but I love you guys. Bye.